Ladies and gentlemen, coming up now, an entrepreneur of the new millennium, Stacy Gillis of Advanced Media Systems, is going to talk about networking here at the Mid-Atlantic Expo. Stacy Gillis, ladies and gentlemen, give her a warm round of applause.
Thank you, thank you. Close your eyes for just a second. What were you doing when you were 20 years old? You're going back far, aren't you? Open your eyes. What were you doing?
I was wrapping up college.
Wrapping up college. And what were you doing?
Working at General Motors.
General Motors, very cool. And Carol, what were you doing? Awesome. At 20 years old, I got married to Larry, who's videotaping today. 30 years ago. When I got married at 20 years old, 1 month after I was married, Larry brings home all this equipment and he says, "We're going into business for ourselves." Like, really? I had just gotten my business degree and I went off to UMBC and I got a film and video degree. And at the time, I was waitressing. Do you remember Longhorns on Liberty Road? I go up to the owners and I said, "Can I produce an instructional video about how to train your busboys, waiters, waitresses, cooks, hostess?" They go, "Sure." I was doing it for free, why not? After we completed the video, they loved it so much, they actually paid us for it. Then Larry and I went to Horn & Horn and landed a $30,000 job. Oh my God. That was so cool. But that sounds all exciting, but at 20 years old, you're all in college and having fun and partying and doing that. I'm sitting in my apartment, and what were you doing back in the day? How did you advertise? What is this? The yellow pages. Every day I had to get up and go and cold call. Remember that word, cold call? It was horrible. And it's beautiful. We got married in June, and it's so sunny, and all I wanted to do was lay out by the poolside, right? Every day I cried. I called my mom and said, "I can't do this. I've never cooked a day in my life. I never made my bed. And now, all of a sudden, I'm in this situation." It was horrible. And Larry, this is kind of funny, he starts saying, "Well, I'm kind of getting bored of the stuffed peppers. Can you try and do something a little different?" Like, what did I know? I didn't know how to cook. So I called Larry and I said, "I can't do this anymore. I can't. I hate this. I hate this." And he says, and he was working at the time, and he said, "You have to do this for our future." Like, oh my God, are you kidding me? I then went to the bathroom, wiped my eyes. The next thing I know, the next phone call that I made, I landed an ad agency and he needed video. Like, really? Oh, this is so cool. He says, "I have a customer who has a doll, a porcelain doll, and she wants to make a whole video about porcelain dolls." And the next thing I know, I have a football team in my little den. You know how big football players are. And me, I was 107 pounds, I was a little girl. And I'm editing for these big guys, and things started to just take off. It was so exciting. Then we were able to move into the ad agency building, and it was only 600 square feet. So we advertised in the, I said so. So I advertised, that's a Toastmasters joke. I advertised in the Jewish Times, and what we advertised was, "We'll videotape your wedding," or bar mitzvah. That was our first money we ever put into it. We started getting calls for film transfers. And what a film transfer is, you take your old home movies and transfer them to videotape. And Mike is demonstrating that right now. we say? What do you say in business? Do you say, no, we don't? What do you say? Always say yes. And we figured out how to get all the equipment together, and every phone call we got, oh, we do film transfers. Oh, yes. And I started to get busy. Larry was still working at that time. And I got so busy that one day I said, Larry, can you please quit your job? I really need help. And guess what? I hired Larry. The next form of advertising is, what we were doing was very brave. We started advertising on the radio, on WBAL, if anyone remembers, with Alan Prell. All of a sudden, our phones start lighting up, and radio does work. It was so exciting to get, and the offer was a free information package. Did you hear me? F-R-E-E. Everybody loves free. They got their information packet, and then more people kept coming to us, and more. We were able to move out of that 600 square foot building, and we went to, does anybody remember the Country Fair Inn restaurant? It was on Painters Mill Road. They had a restaurant, and the other half was a jewelry store. And the jewelry store moved out, and we were able to move into that space. Then we got really, really brave. What did we do? What's the next step? Advertising where? Anybody? Anybody? TV, exactly. We had a rotation on Channel 13. Not only did we got on the soap operas, okay, that's fine, but we landed on The Price is Right and Oprah. We had to have a team. We had to hire more employees to get the telephones, and the phone would start ringing. Like 30 people at one time would call us. It was crazy. It's so exciting, wasn't it, Mike? And again, what did we offer? Free information on TV. People love free. Keep that in mind. Well, then what happens next? The internet came and evolved, right? It almost killed our company. Can you imagine? And do you know why? Does anybody have a guess why the internet would hurt us so much? Very interesting. We as a company had to figure out how to get ahead of all our competitors. They're all out there. They're crazy. Montgomery Ward started going into business. Blockbuster came in. Earls came in. They were taking all our business. It was horrible. Well, what did we do next? We had to figure out strategies and then build great business relationships. That's what networking is all about, building great business relationships. In the past 3 years, I have grown our company 3 times its size by networking. You just don't go to just one event. You make yourself go to 1, 2, 3, get yourself out there, build your repertoire. And I have something to show you here. I got a show and tell. This is how you build. Does this outfit outfit look familiar to you? I was on the cover of Smart Woman magazine in 2004. Pretty exciting, and I still can fit into the outfit. And I even lost some weight. It's not who you know, it's who knows you. Never forget that. You have to get yourself out there, have to get known, and I am the queen of networking. Thanks to Mike Nichols. He turned me into a monster.
But a nice monster.
On that note, I would like to say I have a very great friend for 30 years out there, sitting in the audience supporting me, Carol Stover. Raise your hand, Carol. 30 years we've known each other in business. Carol does all our makeup for our video productions. But she just had a talk a couple weeks ago, and she taught me something that I never knew, and that we all should know. And I'm quoting her. When you go out networking, make sure you have gorgeous eyes, great eyebrows. You have to have gorgeous lips. Make sure they're nice and bright. You have to take care of your girls. And most of all, have great Spanx. Thank you. Stacy Gillis, Advanced Video Systems. Thank you.
Give it up for Stacy Gillis from Advanced Video Systems.